Hello everyone, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. This is it. We're here. This is the end, I guess. We're about to head into the trial for Nagito, which is the last trial. I hope if it doesn't take too long, we could finish this game today. That's what I'm hoping to do. So yeah, let's get into it. Looks like everyone's here. Huh? Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people?
Damn it.
Stop it. You're making me depressed. You're making me depressed. So, it is going to happen again. The cruel conflict where we must doubt our friends. But once we're through with this, we can go back, right? That Monokuma bastard said so, didn't he? He said this is the last class trial. Well, we've been tricked every step of the way. There's no way I can believe that so easily. Why can't you believe it? The guy who's making us do all this is the one saying it, you know? That's why I'll definitely survive. We can really go home after we deal with this class trial. I'll definitely find out who the killer is, no matter what. Even if I have to pull out all the stops. What the fuck? Why are you here? You haven't realized it yet? The feeling of wanting to leave this island, thinking like that, is Monokuma's trap, you know?
Huh?
Huh? What are you saying?
Got it?
There's no way Monokuma will end things here. Oh gosh. I'm so... Because, like, I don't know... The last trial of the last game was so out of whack, and that's how I feel like this one's gonna be, and I don't like it. He's planning something far worse. Stop trying to jinx us. Damn right. Stupid rabbit, you just shut up. Everyone, you mustn't run away from despair. Huh? I have finally realized, after losing my powers, I've realized that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's a possibility, you must face it. In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. So I will fight.
Huh?
What's her deal? I do not really know, but she seems different from before. Maybe she read a self-help book.
Wait.
But her eyes, she looks so determined. What can you tell just by looking at those button eyes? Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be annoying if he started talking during the trial. Ah, fine.
But still.
Somehow, I understand what Monami is saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going to the last class trial. You're right, we need to fight as much as we can, no matter what hopeless truth awaits us in the end. I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm scared, but I am. This is the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over within my mind. I entered Monokuma Rock. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's so little of us. This elevator ride. This will be the last one for this too, right? I hope so.
Well?
Let's worry about things after we're finished.
You're right.
More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. One of us killed Nagito.
Damn it.
The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is gonna go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent upon him. But even if he's gone, the ones who survive need to stand and fight. We must fight. And then the doors slowly opened, this bright light greeting us. Is that the light of hope, or the light of despair? Oh my gosh, bro.
Well
Now that chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Shut the hell up!
Enough. Just fucking start this already. Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right?
Yep.
Yep, it sure is. So, you gotta show some enthusiasm, and make sure you give it your all.
Alright!
Didn't I tell you? He said it. This is the end. Now then, let's get this trial started. This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other. What? Wait, probably not. This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Oh gosh. Nagito Kamida, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. Yep, then he turned into that. But his true nature held such a demented thought process that he was nothing like his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that can overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope will never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up, but there was also times he saved us too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but it's one of us. There's no way we can end this without knowing. We'll be consumed by despair. That's why we absolutely have to find out the person who finished off Nagito, the killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says that this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. Frick, dude! I'm scared! Alright, well, we're gonna be as ready as we'll ever be, so let's start it. Oh boy, I hope I can just figure stuff out.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh my, Monami? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit?
What?
No!
Don't poach Monami. Aw, look at her, she's just taking it.
One more time!
Monokuma, stop
Jeez.
it.
How about this one? This will be my final blow!
Ugh.
It's useless.
Please stop. I feel
Me
bad
too.
for Monomi.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monami. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor, that traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
That's a good point.
No, that might not be it.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
This is literally Among Us.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or I feel like they're probably not, but it makes sense that they would be the same person. Oh my gosh, bro. So many bullets. Jeez, man.
The killer didn't take Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. So, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone.
Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? No. Were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place?
Because the killer tortured Nagito.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, because... Oh gosh.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, so he wouldn't have been able to confess anything. If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Hmm?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Stupid? What trap? What are you talking about?
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped shut, you'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right?
Uh-huh.
But that was the trap. He wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
What?
I can't back down.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But if
I
he tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
right.
Pay attention. This is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location. But then, after they killed him,
No.
Allow me to cut through
No.
those words.
I'm gonna cut through your words, Soda.
No, there's no doubt Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
Right.
what did you say?
Because the blood wasn't
There's
underneath the
not
duct tape.
We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before
Yes.
the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? You have a crush on him or something?
Oh? Are you in elementary school or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds, which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
What about his legs? That's the only thing I wasn't sure about is like if they just stabbed him in the legs, they could have probably gotten information out of him.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
You can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
Yeah, and right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
Probably from the panels. Somehow those panels probably did
It
it.
is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Yes.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then, let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Damn right it is!
Damn, get him! The reason for the fire, huh? You're right, we need to clear that up first. Somehow those panels tripped it. I don't know how the panels would be able to like strike the actual lighter itself. Yeah, the panels.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup.
Okay, yeah.
He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of setup?
Yeah.
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
No.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Oh, I see. So they had it lit already.
Way?
The panels!
Maybe they used invisible thread.
No.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
No.
Or perhaps opening the door caused...
Yes. This. Yes. The panels. Okay. That makes sense. So they turned the oil lighter on and then it
Also
tipped
agree
over
that opening the door is what started the fire.
with the
Just as
panels.
I thought,
Yep.
it the wind pressure.
Wait, what?
A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
No,
Excuse me?
not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
Yes.
A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In
Mm-hmm.
place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels.
Correct.
So when we opened the warehouse door,
It's a nice
the
diagram.
first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
One other thing to hide the playing the music? So he wouldn't hear the sound of them falling over?
I see!
Nice. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Yep. The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's really damn loud. Is Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? No, I'm not talking about the music. As if on cue, it suddenly started. Okay. Yep.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
Mm-hmm.
Those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
How it wasn't able to be opened? It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it! It's a trap! Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you I'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
I guess?
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the light.
I don't know how the panels would stop the door from being opened,
Yeah.
but...
And that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
With the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse... I see, so the problem Chiaki's talking about is... They could have... The killer couldn't have left?
I see!
Okay.
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Unless they did all that setup
Does
before.
that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Huh?
You don't mean...
But if that's true... Wait, who? This murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. Don't make me choose! You have to be kidding me! Okay, what do you... What? Who? 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 Wait. Wait, stop it. Stop. Who? There's only one person who was in there. Nagito do it? Because if the killer couldn't leave, is it him?
This is my answer!
Okay. Wait. So...
What if it was Nagito?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim.
Wait.
What does that mean?
He was the victim, and he was the perpetrator too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid. His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss? That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Oh god, wait, that doesn't make sense though. If it was him, how would he have stabbed himself with a knife? He didn't have any arms or legs that were free. What?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
Yeah, well he didn't...
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth?
No.
Or if you use your front tail?
Front tail... Wait a minute. What is that supposed to mean?
Is that a dirty joke?
Okay, wait. So, couldn't use his teeth, obviously. If our assumption that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should have tied himself too. Well he did have one free arm, right?
To actually tie up your own arms...
This, okay.
No, that's wrong!
So... Oh my gosh.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms.
Yeah, just one of them.
The rope
wasn't.
on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
The proof that the burn rope on Nagito's right arm is a trap. The right sleeve, right?
I see.
Something about a sleeve. What was about a sleeve again? I can't remember.
Close look at his right sleeve.
It wasn't burnt, right?
Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree? A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Excuse me?
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Excuse me?
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch
Okay,
me, right?
let's
That's
go
not
on.
what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
Unless it was somehow dropped onto his hand afterwards. That's the only thing I think.
Stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
Hajime, you tricked me! Give me back that Benjamin!
Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back? What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
A way to stab yourself in the right hand using only your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. Okay. Is it something with... The blood on the girder?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
No.
Dropped it onto what?
There's no way, right?
If he just propped the knife He could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
If Nagito could only use his right hand to stab himself in the palm, then how did he do it? Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I'm guessing it's either the... Somehow... I think the blood on the girder is from the spear or something, right? The only other thing would be the Monokuma plush that was around.
Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
With the plushie, okay. Consent, let's go! Okay, so with the Monokuma plushie, he propped the knife.
The life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it.
Right.
If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
Gotcha.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
What?
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the
Right.
fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, don't. Soda.
Like I said, if you got
Stop.
penetrated by
Stop.
something so big and thick, you would die
Oh
instantly.
my gosh.
Say it one more time.
Stop. Oh my gosh. I hate it.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Oh?
Monami sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I don't
I
know.
did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Huh?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
Is it the... It's gotta be that, like, cord thing, right? Because his left hand didn't have blood on it, and there was the spot on the cord that didn't have blood on it. So, if he tied himself up, right, while he was holding the cord with his left hand, tied himself up, and then stabbed himself with his with a knife in his right hand and laid that down and then let go of the spear, then that could have impaled him after he had done that, right?
What kind of way?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together. That's how. We made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
She's right. You've made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then even now...
Alright, let's do this.
Okay. It's something with the left hand. Blood on left hand. He had to have been holding that
How
before
did Nagito stab himself with a spear?
he tied himself up.
Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Okay, yes.
Then that rules out his left hand.
No, that doesn't... It doesn't rule it out.
No, that's wrong.
That doesn't rule it out. Oh my gosh, I just freaking shot from the hip on that one, dude.
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain. But it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Blood on his palm, the back of his hand. What was Nagito's left hand doing when the blood splattered? Gripping. The back of his hand was exposed. No. Hiding. Gripping. It was gripping the cord.
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand. That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
Stop.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right. That's the
Hey,
problem.
Chiaki, what do you think?
He tied it around the girder,
Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
and then he let it go, and then it...
You should always strike from
down.
a good angle.
Oh, I got it. Maybe. Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
What section of the spear he was gripping onto? The cord.
I see.
So wait, is it actually suicide?
Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There
Then
was
what
a
do we
metal
do
weight
now?
at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
Okay.
That's a long plan, Nate.
Yeah.
One step at a time. What does that mean?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was facing up and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So, if it's just before that, that's it. Could it be the state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment? If I put those two together and think about it, I should be able to figure out where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. Oh, is this a logic dive? Okay, I can figure this out. He had it wrapped around the girder. Right? It has to be. He has to have wrapped it around the girder. And then, from that point, he could easily let go of it, and then it would fall onto him. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hate it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Okay. First question, please. First question, please. Please? Okay, thank you. Where was the spear just before it was impaled Nagito? Above him. Above him. Above Nagito. Gosh, my brain is on freaking... Oh my gosh, I can do like a little hop before I fully landed. What are these things? What are these things? No! Oh my gosh. What the frick? They're throwing new stuff at me during the end of the trial? Oh my gosh, really? Jeez. Okay. Okay. New question, please. Oh my gosh. Why are you turning? Stop! Oh my gosh. It's going like the exact way that I'm going. Okay, next question. Besides the spear, what else was above Nagito? A ceiling girder. Yes, that's what it was. It was wrapped around the girder. Ooh. Okay, cool. Is that it? Oh, one more question. Yep. Why? This is scary. I don't like this. Stop! Oh my gosh, I hate them. I hate the movements. Stop. Oh my gosh, did you see that? Holy frick, dude. That was insane. Actually freaking MLG at this game. Okay. What item connects both the spear and the ceiling girder? The spear's cord. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Okay. Good. Are these so long? Please stop. Why? Like, why? Hey, could you just, like, instead of doing that, just not? Okay. Cool. Yeah, so that's what I thought. Yeah, it wrapped around the ceiling girder and just let it go, and then it fell down.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
Huh?
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Then, this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear?
Oh
That
my...
spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
I don't know.
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Did he want us to die that bad?
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
Jeez, I was starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. A mind-boggling malice that threatened us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I'd forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right? Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other and tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Okay.
If he caused a bomb scare for that reason alone?
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here.
Oh my gosh,
huh?
I hate this. I hate
That means
this.
we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood.
Oh no.
Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is. No
Huh?
matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Something related to Nagito's death. And it's something that he couldn't even have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
Something related to Nagito's death. A piece of evidence that he couldn't mess with. Oh,
I see!
okay.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
The victim is Nagito Kamaeda. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be at noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled into his right hand, through his right hand. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file that Chiaki is worried about. What is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? It's the fact that it didn't say anything about how he died. Please stop. Please stop. Thank you. Cause of death. The cause of death isn't there. Wait. Cause of... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I hate it. Actually hate it, believe it or not. Oh my gosh, bro. Jeez, man. Look how much stuff there is. Like, just look at this. Like, what am I even supposed to do? T-H. Okay, cause of death. There was nowhere where it said, like, he died by the spear being impaled onto him. It was just like, he had a spear in him.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
Not only is there a spear stabbed through his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds in each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not?
Then it should have said so.
The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was a cause of death.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma,
I plead the fifth!
There he goes
Fifth?
again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Nikon's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you
There has to
suggesting,
be.
again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
You are right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying. But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait.
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right. That's what
Agreed.
I believe.
Aww.
Very cute.
You guys are so splendid right now.
Thanks, Mon Ami.
That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you. Huh. Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that could overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then, the situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. Probably overthinking. Ah, Monokuma, what have you done? What have you done? Okay, break time? Oh my...
No!
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought the voting time was gonna start. But, well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, mon ami? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're all alone with someone else. So, mon ami and I are the bestest of friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough! Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides the fact that you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all, not even a teensy tiny 1mm bit. How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. We aren't even friends in the first place. Then, as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there might be some demands for that. No, I fell for it. I totally took the man bait.
Okay, cool. Let's just continue, please. All right, everyone. Well, you know what that means. We're gonna end this episode here, and I'll see you in the next episode, which is up right now. And I mean, I hope that'll be the last episode. If not, then there's gonna be one right after that. I guess you'll see. You can just go watch the next one. Thank you guys for watching. But until then, bye.